Good afternoon. This is Dan from Talos Living Tiles. I'm the brand manager of Talos Living Tiles, whereby we call ourselves not the ordinary tiles. We are redefining tiles with nature. So before I go further, let me ask you a question. What do tiles mean to you? Everybody knows that since centuries ago, tiles were invented. And tiles have ever since then replacing the cements to be part of the housing decoration. The reason behind is because of the characteristic of itself. It is unique, no matter from appearance, whereby you can do a lot of design on the glazing for tiles, and it is hygiene because due to the process of making, it needs a firing process of 100 Celsius and over, and it is durable comparing to cement, of course. So it become the mainstream of your home decoration or your home interior design things, kind of things. To us, for nowadays, tiles would have been the elements of the decoration and to harmonize the interior. And always, we are thinking tiles will be functional in aesthetically. But do you ever or have you ever know the brands of that tiles when you step into a building or to an interior? Do you ever? But I think mostly we don't. So tiles brand for nowadays is invisible. To us, we think it differently. For us, we think that tiles should be a living element that bring nature into your indoor or your sanctuary. But what brings us into that idea? During the process of research, we do find out that indoor air quality is actually part of the environmental pollution. The level of environmental pollution in indoor is even higher than outdoor. Yes, you got it right. It's not something like you think outdoor is more polluted than indoor. It is reverse. Okay. So where does those environmental pollution comes from? It comes from the common thing that we have it indoor: furnitures, fragrance, the painting, things like that. Those making chemical, those electronic device, those are the things that make our indoor polluted day by day. And because of the widely use of the electrical devices like iPad, iPhone, Android phone, or television, computers, those are the things that actually produce a lot of positive ions. And I do believe that each of us will have more than one phone or one electronic devices, and we use it every day. So, and in compliance to for the new normal that brought on by the pandemic, right? We spend more time at home or in the office in indoor. We don't really spend much time going outdoor or exercise or things like that. We do, but it will be lesser than what we have before. Thus, we find that something is not right, and we would want to make a change. Before we go for the change, we should elaborate a bit on the sources for the indoor air pollutants. You can see on the pictures, you'll find formaldehyde, you'll find general VOC. When all these things comes over and when it's grouping, it becomes the TVOC. Of course, with additional of positive ion that produces from your electronic devices. So from here, I would like to introduce the soul behind the Talos Living House, our Assistant General Manager, Mr. Calitus Lee, to share with you what is TVOC and also what will be the harm that it could gonna bring to you. Welcome, Mr. Lee.
Right. Thank you, Dan. Okay. So good afternoon, everyone. So TBOC. Okay, what is TBOC? So TBOC is a group of wide range of organic chemical compound to simplify reporting when these are present in ambient air or emissions. So Volatile organic compounds, also called the VOC, can harm, definitely, right? Okay, inhaling this VOC can irritate the eyes, nose, and throat, where VOC may also cause shortness of breath and nausea, and even damage the central nerve system, as well as other organs. So in worst case scenario, it may cause cancer. So we won't be surprised. What shall we fear? Okay, as most of the source of TVOC are the common object that we often use or keep at indoor territory. For example, look at the smoke, the spray, and PVC, and like the cosmetic, the nail polish column, okay, then the paint, the solvent, the carpeting, and the furniture as well. Okay, all these are the things that we are so used of their existence in life, right? Where we never thought of how harmful they could be when being grown. So awareness over the air. Okay? Awareness is all that we lack of about polluted indoor air, right? As it could be lethal to us, especially over a long period of time. Okay, however, this could be improved with a very simple, proper purifications, which turn the air from harmful to beneficial. So we believe indoor air quality is always what we really matter to determine the wellness of you and your family. So, and this is our answer to what do Tao mean to us. Okay, so this all for my sessions. I'll hand over to Dan.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Lee. Thanks so much on the sharing. And I think we all hear the words lethal. Lethal means that it's harmful and it is very, very harmful. So the thing is that we hear you, we do the research and we find out this is something that we can't really sit and wait. So we do something on that. We started to develop, we started to do our research, started with our R&D process, and this is how Talos was born. And I should share you some little video for 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 a little bit of small conclusion before we get further on what is inside Talos Living Tiles.
The goodness of Mother Nature. Progress, however, has made us sacrifice our health and well-being. Did you know that indoor air quality can be 5 times worse than outdoors? Introducing Talos Living Tiles. Talos Living Tiles utilizes a groundbreaking technology to improve your indoor air quality by producing negative ions that are abundant in nature. Negative ions provide incredible physical and mental benefits for us humans. Scientific research has shown that negative ions makes us more energetic. With Talos Living Tiles, your family can enjoy a constant flow of negative ions in your home, while reducing airborne contaminants and bacteria. Nano Technology allows interaction with electrons in the air to create an endless supply of negative ions in your home.
Thank you very much. So that was the introduction of Talos Living Tiles. And yes, once again, I'm here to stretch to you. this is Talos living tiles, and we do not function like ordinary tiles because we want the tiles to be a living elements at home, and they are living tiles. How do we started with all these things is that we are trying to build something greater than a green building, whereby we are actually, promoting for all these years an energy saving kind of building, and it is good for the environment. But for us, environment is important, but health is even more important because we are the one that living inside the building, and we are the one that working inside the building. So for the building that we is in our ideal is that we wish that wellness will be the new way of living or working to build that building into a health-centric building with something that we just heard in the video, negative ions. So even though negative ion is called negative, but it works positively. And because of the content of negative ion that is emitted from Talos living tiles, it is designed for sustainability and better indoor air quality, and to reduce and eliminate, or we call it neutralize, the harmful pollutants indoor and transform your home or your office into a natural sanctuary of wellness. So what are negative ions? It is actually quite simple, as simple as there is an atom which gain charge, that negative charge is more than positive, that is negative ions. But why do we concentrating on negative ion? There will be some reason. But before that, let me show you the contents of negative ion within all the environments that we might encounter in lives. First thing, industrial, offices, home, or parks, or somewhere in the natural. It is not something strange, something that it's not something that we can't find it regularly, but it is everywhere. The thing is that the pollutant will cause because the content of negative ions become lower and lower, especially for us that live in the urban activities like the industrial activities, the widely use of electronic devices, and also the material that we use in our premises indoor. It will actually release the positive ion, will actually contra or neutralize the negative ion content, make it lower or even zero. Like you can see on the industrial area. Don't be feeling surprised that home having 500 unit for counts in per cm cube, but that is only applicable to those house or the indoor that is located in rural area, whereby you can open up your door widely freely, or open up your window freely. You don't scare about pollution, things like that. But in urban, do we do that? We do not do that. We don't do, unless we have a very good security lah. Okay, so lack of negative ion, what is gonna happen? It wouldn't affect you in very short time, but in long run, it will affect your environment, of course, and also affect your health, especially when you are exposing yourself into TVOC in a very long period. But why we are going to for negative ions? Because in some thesis, in some research, right, it is called the killers or microbes. Sorry. So negative ion emitted from the tiles that we have will actually to be adding up to the surrounding area with negative ions, and also to clear up and reduce the TVOC, and all as well as the pollutants and also the viruses. To allow you guys to understand a little bit more detail on how it goes, I would like to invite my colleague or the man behind Talos Living Tiles, Mr. Lee, to be up again to share how it works and how it operates to bring negative ion to your homes, to your doorstep, and also to make your premise a healthier premise. Welcome, Mr. Lee.
Hi, thank you, Dan. Okay, so how do negative ion reduce bacteria, TBOC, and PM 2.5? So the negative ion resulting by the productions of from Talos living tiles is released into the air. And the most important benefits of this negative ion is that they reduce the airborne allergens, the pollens, the mold spore, bacteria, viruses, and clear the airborne particulate matter, or so-called the PM 2.5, cigarette smoke, and the volatile organic compound as well in the house. Okay, this negative ion they react chemically with the VOC, and usually it will turn into carbon dioxide and water. On the airborne particulate matter, okay, negative ion perform this function by attaching themselves to positively charged particles in large number. So as a result, this particle become too heavy to remain airborne, and those prevent from entering your breathing system, where they can make you feel fall sick. And these cycles are happening almost every seconds within the installations of the Talos living tiles. Okay. The human body magnetic field is made up of both positive charge or negative ions. So overexposure to this positive charge or so-called positive ion caused by electrical equipment such as your handphone and the computers, okay, can affect our magnetic fields and drains your energies and making us feel tired and lethargic. So negative ions are believed to produce biochemical reactions that boost the level of the mood chemical serotonin, okay, helping to elevate depressions, to release the stress and boost our daytime energies. So negative ion increase the flow of oxygen to your brain too, right? Okay, which in turn will create higher alertness, relieve the stress, and enhance the mental energy. So since the flows of oxygen increase, okay, those the body are reacting in positive way too, right? Okay. At a glance, the negative ions reduce the irritations, inflammations within the inner body, and this will help increasing overall weakness of yours. ATS, so the air transformation system. These Talos living tiles utilize the groundbreaking nanoglazing technologies on the surface of the tiles, okay, which empower the constant productions of negative ions into the air through the charges of electron soft magnetic wave, okay, that emit from the surface of the tiles. Okay. This nanoglaze layer enable the replenishment of negative ion indoor, okay, which help in fighting pollutants as well as providing great hardness than usual. So Talos living tiles, okay, has passed various in-house testing and proven to retain its ability to generate the negative ions even after undergoes a firing temperature of 1001 to 1002 degrees Celsius. Okay. The tiles were also sent to Guangdong Detection Center of Microbiology in China and to TUB, a Germany-based testing lab in Singapore, and also the SGS Taiwan to verify its negative ions generating property. Okay, and successfully passed all tests and obtained certification from these organizations. That's all for my sections. I'll hand it over to Dan.
Thank you very much, Mr. Lee. So, okay, before we go to the sharing of all the series that we have, I would like to make a little conclusion for all the contents that we shared. Is that the ultimate goal for us is to bring up the awareness of indoor air qualities, and as well as to actually increase the health level via negative ions and make your premises, disregard office or your home, to be a natural sanctuary. Why? Because we believe that healthy healthy life or your wellness shall be begin from indoor, regardless home or your offices. So by then we have to embrace the mother nature with the negative ions that we can see always. We can see a lot in the nature, which also the vitamins of the air. When it is in your place or in your premises, right, healing will start and make you become healthier and healthier. So this is the main concept of why Talos Living Tile is invented, and why are we sharing here today. To not only to share with you on the technology, is to share you on a brand new concept of healthy building rather than a green building. So after the technology, and also the concept of why is Talos Living Towers is invented, so we are sharing the collection that we have, and back to the aesthetic. Okay, so we have Iversan, Glacier, and then we have Pluton, Timestone, Macarati. They are all inspired by the texture of the mother nature. you know so Evosan is, the wildness of the nature, where you find in the desert or like Sahara, things that are places like that. And it gives you the feelings that you are blended into a very, very wild nature, or warm kind of texture. So this will be the look of the series. And then we have Glacier. So Glacier will be more onto the finest texture you can find in nature, which is the snowy mountain. Yeah, there you can find it, when you go for snow. Snow is very fine. I mean the texture. So this is the texture that we have, and the sizes. So it is more onto like giving a calm and peaceful kind of feelings, comparing to Ivasan. So we have Pluton. So Pluton will be more into the minerals, or the rocks that you can find in a volcano, or even the mineral stones. This will be the design, and it gives you a more to like industrial kind of feelings of the design. And then we do have Tamila Stone. Tamila Stone will be more onto the natural rock, that what you can see in the Yellowstone Park in the US. And this will be the design, and it gives you more to the design and feelings of blending in with nature, and also what I mean also the water, like beach or pools. This will be the idea of concept. And then in the end, we have Makarati. So Makarati series will be more to the woody type of texture. It gives you the feeling of more to the country kind of design concept, contemporary country. And this will be the concept that we actually share with all of you. So out of all these series with the texture that inspired by the nature, right? And also the concept that we have, and also the technology that help us to bring the biggest element, the vitamins of the air, into indoors. We believe one thing is that by what we have within Talos Living Tiles, we are possibly to redefine what is tiles, and how should tiles to help you in terms of refining your indoor air quality, and to bring nature, at least the elements of nature, into the indoor, and make you living to fight what we are experiencing, and what we are encountering now, the pandemic or the endemic, or what we will call in the next few months. And to be taking care of yourself and your family and the colleagues and those that you care about. Bring nature home, bring nature indoor, and it starts with Talos Living Tiles. Thank you very much for today's session, and thanks for spending your time with us. Thank you very much.